next week we can be pretty sure that the number of COVID cases in Santa Fe is going to increase dramatically. And that's because this evening about 60 or 70,000 people are going to gather here in Santa Fe to watch Zozobra burn. When we moved here, some people were very excited about bringing us to Zozobra. We said we would watch it online and make our own decisions about coming in the future. And I do know that there are many people who remember Zozobra from many decades ago when there were far fewer people, and it was much more a community gathering moment that people would sit on blankets and would just enjoy together in a community thing, as opposed to what many people now share it's become, which is a moment of screaming and cursing at Zozobra as loudly as possible, getting rid of the anger and so on that is pent up inside. And so people add their curses to Zozobra as it burns. We watched it online the first year and honestly found it so horrifying we decided we didn't need to go and see it again. And the kids can go and see it when they're older if they wish. They watched it online. It wasn't really for them either. But there may have been some influence there from me. And part of that influence is because, and I don't want to be a killjoy because I know Zozobra is an important custom for many people. But the inspiration, Will Schuster's inspiration for Zozobra, came from the Holy Week celebrations of the Yaqui Indians of Mexico. And where they would take an effigy of Judas. They would fill it with firecrackers, they'd lead it round the village on a donkey, and then they would burn it. And so Schuster and E. Dana Johnson came up with the idea of Zozobra as burning the anguish and the gloom and the anxiety. In Spanish, it's the gloomy one. And so for me, it's very difficult, when you look at Zozobra and you see that large hooked nose and you wonder, why does he look like that? It's because it is Judas. It is the Jew who betrays Jesus in the Christian Bible. Or at least that was the inspiration for it, I should say, to be more accurate. And so Judas becomes the symbol of the Jews throughout Christianity in the Middle Ages in particular. And so we have this, what is inspired by a symbolic burning of the Jew that takes place in Santa Fe. Now, many people turn around and say, but I had no idea that that was actually the origin of Zozobra, and it doesn't mean that to me, and that's fair enough. I don't want to be a total killjoy, even though I do have a tendency to do that. Because Zozobra is a way of getting rid of gloom. It's a way of getting rid of the negativity of the past year. And what's really interesting is that it happens almost always around Rosh Chodesh Elul, around the start of the month of Elul. And the month of Elul is the time when we in the Jewish community reflect on the negativity of the past year and try to make amends for it, and try to make our lives better. And for me, as a rabbi, a British rabbi who doesn't have that childhood custom of the burning of Zozobra, to me there is a profound difference between Zozobra and teshuvah and repentance and return during the month of Elul. And that's because with the burning of Zozobra, it's an external thing, that the gloom is removed and we shout and so on to get rid of all of our negativity. Whereas teshuvah in Elul has to be transformative. We have to change. There is no teshuvah without our own personal change. There's no repentance, atonement. We actually have to build bridges again. We have to go to those whom we've wronged and apologize, and then we can make good that which was negative in the past year. So for me personally, I prefer teshuvah over Zozobra, but I understand those who go to Zozobra. So people have two choices at least for this evening. One choice is to go to Zozobra with 70,000 other people and hope to see people who they know and have a shared communal getting rid of the gloom, shouting, dancing, fireworks and so on. Or you could do the opposite, which is join us for a reflective and meditative service this evening. It's the 5th Friday night of the month, which means it's a reflective and meditative service. And so it's very calm. We have readings, poems, prayers. We spend time breathing, reflecting. We have traditional liturgy and extra liturgy. It's a real time of pause, reflection, calm. I am a very big fan of these reflective and meditative services, which I started up again after my sabbatical, when I found the need to sit on a Friday night and stare at the two candles and breathe and meditate on what do these candles mean to me, and what does Shabbat mean to me, and who am I? And so I'm trying to create a space. We are trying to create that space of reflection and meditation for you to do as well. Of course, it's more powerful in person, but it's also possible online. And you can definitely get something from that reflective and meditative service for those who aren't able to be here in person. So, this Friday evening, tonight, we invite you to join us. If you need to go to Zozobra, if it's your family thing, personal thing, of course, enjoy Zozobra. If you would rather something much quieter, calmer, more peaceful, then please come and join us for our reflective and meditative service. And please join us tomorrow, especially if you weren't able to make services tonight. Please join us tomorrow for a bat mitzvah, a really wonderful bat mitzvah. All of the B'nai Mitzvah who go through Temple Beth Shalom are so thoughtful, caring, decent young people. And it's really important for them to see how much the community supports them. So we encourage you to join us for that bat mitzvah ceremony as well. And so here we are at the cusp of the month of Elul, the cusp of that start of that journey, that process of transformation. And for some people, they'll need a kickstart with burning the gloom away. For others, they'll need a pause to reflect, meditate, and contemplate who they are, what negativity has been in the past year, and how they can transform themselves and the world around us. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that. And I wish you Shabbat Shalom.